So what are the best meme coins to buy right now? As you've seen, the market's moving very quickly. You really want to get on these things early before the herd or before the retail. So in this video, I'll break down some of my best picks, but also I'm going to show you how you can identify bullish setups. And the good thing about these coins is you can hold them for a swing trade. So, it's not like you're holding them for seconds or minutes. You can actually hold them for days to weeks. By the way, in my recent video, I talked about sleeper coins. So I went through several coins there and they're actually up a good bit. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. There's not that many places where you'll get these type of technical insights when it comes to trading meme coins in particular. Now, some of the coins I spoke about last time, we'll just touch on briefly in this video as well. So one of them was Ava. As you can see here, it's continuing a bullish uptrend. But the main thing I want you to notice is when we have a look at some of the newer coins to see whether they could potentially do a similar breakout, because look, this is serious multiples now, 20 to 100. We're talking that's a 5x. Even if you got in late at 40 or 50, still minimum 2x. It's the volume. That's the most important thing. Not in terms of a buy-sell indicator, but in terms of, is there interest? Do people actually care? Are people actually aping back into this? Because people have, less funds now, limited funds at this kind of stage where there's a bottoming process going on and there are so many coins that have completely died off. So you need to see an uptick there. And basically, how do you assess that? Well, just with the naked eye, you have a look at what the recent was, draw a line through what you think the average is roughly in terms of volume for the past few weeks prior, and then have a look at what's going on now. And if it's higher, that's a volume breakout. If it's about the same, like slight differences, which I'll show you in just a minute, then that's not a good sign. And as we look at other ones, you have to remember, if Solana's up 50%, and your meme coin's up 30% off the lows, just for argument's sake, you've underperformed Solana. If you're underperforming Solana in your meme coin's not doing very well. So I would say move on, find one. You have to find things that outperform when things are moving. If you don't do that, then basically you're not putting your bags to work. So keep that in mind. Next one, GRIN. Literally talked about this in the last video, and I talked about how it looked like sideways consolidation. I was just a bit unsure about this pump. It just happened suddenly. But the good thing is when things are sideways, that's a better sign than straight dump. And I said that we might get some support at, again, round numbers. Where is it? 50 million. Got support there and we're running. And again, the volume, look at the volume before, look at the volume after. It wasn't just one or two candles, just one or two whales buying in. It's consistently higher volume. Good sign. And we're outperforming Solana, which is obviously a good sign as well. Now, if you want to be sure of that, you see here at the top where it says USD Sol, click on Sol, and now the price of GRIN is priced in Solana. And now if we zoom out, we can see that, yeah, we genuinely are up off the lows, and even recently. So just before we discuss a few of the new ones, the other one I'll touch on is Chill Guy, which again I mentioned last time, and I talked about this trend line, and I've still got the drawings here literally from the last video, and I said that we could retest on the trend line. Well, we did exactly that. It touched the trend line 3 times. This is basic TA, by the way. So if you don't know this, this is a great time to learn TA. TA really helps when it comes to crypto trading in particular. So you see a 4th touch there and a 5th touch. So we really respected the trend line, and then we basically broke out. And, it's not gone miles yet. It's only at 70 million, and that's way, way down from all-time highs. But, this could be a little bit of accumulation going on there. So it's worth noting. And again, these coins, you don't just buy randomly on green candles, you buy always on pullbacks. And I'll show you later in the video a few strategies you can use when it comes to buying on pullbacks. But these coins, a lot of them, they were over 500 million, even over 1 billion before. So well established, big communities, crazy numbers of holders. Like this is 132,000 holders. Now, obviously, only a small proportion of that are whale holders, but there may still be a lot of people holding from before, even though the price had tanked that much. So here are things to be careful with. So we've had a breakout of meme coins in general, like some of the other well-known coins, a little bit. Like some have gone up a little bit, some have done a little 2x off the low. Nothing incredible, because remember, Solana's up a lot too off the absolute lows, which I think were in the 90s. So Mumu here, when you see something like this kind of going sideways, and you can see the volume, if anything, of recent was actually even dropping more. Now we've only in the last, what we're talking hours, like couple of days, we've seen a tiny bit of volume coming in, but it's not really a breakout. And the price is kind of consolidating sideways. So you have to be picky here. You don't have to trade everything. You have to be picky. you might only want to swing trade 3 to 5 meme coins only. So if you only pick it 3 to 5 out of the millions of meme coins that exist, pick the strong ones. Ignore the ones that are sideways and doing nothing. This is not consolidation. Consolidation is when you move up first and then you go sideways and you hold a level in a range. That's a much stronger sign than at the bottom you're going sideways. Not a good sign. Not saying this can't go up. If everything else is mooning, all of these coins will get a little bit of a lift. You know, maybe a little 30, 40%, 50%, maybe even a 2x. But if this does a 2x, other coins will be doing 5x's, and it's those coins that are doing the 5x's that you need to concentrate on. Next one, I also discussed GOAT, another great setup here, and it looks like we've done a full impulse move, pullback. Where did I say the pullback was going to be? I talked about the previous high of that first wave up at 65. Where did it hit exactly? My line, which I drew in the last YouTube video, ironically. It literally bounced off that and has gone straight up, and very, very strong price action. Literally live now, this is just up and up. This has been a really good investment for me. But again, this one, well established, well known coin. You've got the AI narrative and meme coin narrative combined, and this was one of the leaders along with, for example, Fcoin. So again, go onto a daily, zoom out, and you can see we're miles off the highs. But if any coin or bunch of coins is going to make a run anywhere near its previous all-time highs, it's going to be this handful of 3 to 5 of the better coins. End of story. Like, obviously I'm talking about Solana meme coins, but if you're talking about Ethereum, then you're talking about things like virtuals and stuff. That's what you need to concentrate on. Don't try and trade too many different coins. One coin doing 10x is better than, you being in 100 coins and they all doing a various different degrees of multiples. Some losing, some winning, some might even do 100x. But one 10x with your whole bag is way better. Even hell, one like 5x with your whole bag is way better than everything else. And by the way, for Go as an example, like where would you actually trade this? The great thing now compared to a couple of years ago is there are some really good trading platforms for trading meme coins. Some of these longer term ones or swing trades you can use, for example, Bullx Neo. I'll link it in the description below and in the pinned comments. And all you do there is come up to the search function here and just copy and paste the contract address. So you can see GOAT comes up. On NeoVision as well, obviously you've got all of the new coins and I'll discuss that in a different video. But right now we're not focused on that. Now instead of Dex Screener, you can actually use Bullx Neo to look for trending coins as well. So if you click here on the left on Explore, you can get an idea of which coins are trending at the moment. For example, on different time frames, like 5 minute, 1 minute. So something that might just be breaking out. So you can see where volume's suddenly going in, but then you do your full analysis. Then it's really, really important to go onto these coins and have a look at the structure and see what the history of that particular coin is. And obviously with these swing trades, you don't want to be messing around with any market caps at like 100k, 200k, stuff like that. We're talking about anywhere from 10 to 100 million market cap. That's the sweet spot really where you can make good multiples, and that's the sweet spot where you're actually going to find coins that are a little bit more established. So here, for example, if I added a filter and I went to market cap and I just put minimum, let's say 5 million, click apply. Now you can see straight away we're just looking at coins now that have decent market caps. And that really, really helps. So we can start looking at these, for example, House. And again, what you want to do here is zoom out. So let's go on 4 hours. This is a newer coin. So it ran to 120, well known on CT, this particular coin. Lots of volume still in. Big pullback to 40 million, seems to be holding. Can this run again? And if it runs, can it run higher? Well, we have to wait and see. On a smaller time frame, we've made lower highs, which is not a good sign. But if we consolidate, we start breaking back upwards, especially over this high, then increasing likelihood that we could run again. But remember, this is going against probability a little bit because we've not seen many. We've seen loads of coins in the first couple of days run to decent amounts, like even 5-10 million, stuff like that over the last few months, and then completely die off. Now, obviously, of recent, we haven't seen that first peak number be particularly high. So this is obviously a lot higher than what we've seen. But whether it can do this second wave and run again, that's probability states that's, it's unlikely given what's been happening. But because the market's changed recently, it's more volume coming in, there's more possibilities. So you have to be open-minded. But just remember, your risk sometimes, in terms of risk reward here, sometimes doesn't make sense. We're going to talk about some other coins in just a minute where you're buying a lot lower they've already gone down like 70-80%. And for it to do a 2x is not really that big a deal. For this to do a 2x, you're asking it to literally break its all-time highs again. And for very, very new coins, again, the chances are a little bit more against you compared to more established ones, because in the newer coins, you get more active traders. So a lot more people holding the position, they're ready to dump at any time. A lot of people are in it for a quick flip. But these older coins, that's not the case. Half the holders of these older coins have completely forgotten that they're in the coin. So just understand that difference with new launch coins and more established coins. They're different. The strategies are very different. Okay, so next one. Next, Peanut. Breaking out very, very strong. So literally, again, this is happening real time now. Like literally in the last day or two. People are clearly aping into these well-established coins. And they're putting a little bit of a preference, interestingly still, even though people are talking about altcoin season, to memes. And I think the reason is the multiples are way, way stronger than the alts, which go up 10%, pull back 5%, go up 10%, pull back 5%. Even in a full-blown bull market, they won't make you quick 5x's. Like nothing else can do that apart from meme coins, even these older established ones. And these, like I keep saying in my videos, are basically altcoins now. The larger meme coins are altcoins. The floats of some of the bigger altcoins are 400 million, 1 billion, 2 billion, stuff like that. The technical market cap of this is 397 million. And it does have 91,000 holders. So very strong price action there. Again, wait for pullbacks. Okay, so how do we do pullbacks? So another trick you could use here is go into indicators, type in RSI, and I can see we're very, very overbought. Again, you can jump on the bandwagon here, but I'd be very, very careful. Get onto a smaller time frame. So for example, hourly, and wait for a pullback. Here, you'd wait for a midline. If we're bullish, we're going to stay in the top half likely for a while. Wait for a top line here. So midline. Wait for RSI drop to midline. That could be a good buying opportunity. Otherwise, look at levels like I've discussed in other videos. Next, another one that's broken out is Mudang. A very, very, again, very well-known meme coin if you've been trading meme coins for like 8-9 months or more. Very well-known. And literally, we've just gone up in a straight line. But remember, this wasn't sudden. The setup was there. Off the lows, a lot of these well-known coins, they were doing, okay, higher low, fine. We go high again. We break the previous high there. So we start that ladder pattern. And then on a higher time frame, we've done a swing high and a swing low. And we've held. And this was, I think it was a 50% retracement. It's actually quite bullish. Usually deeper retracement, you might get 786 or 618. Those are the common fib levels. Use Fibonacci in your trading. Very, very useful because it's based on mass psychology. What are meme coins? Mass psychology. This isn't some small crappy coin nobody's ever heard of where some guy and his mates have bought most of the supply. This isn't that. Like these are well-established coins that have already been destroyed. People have made millions on them, lost millions on them. It's got a lot of holders. This is mass psychology at work. TA, if it's going to ever work, is going to work the best right now, looking for the best setups. Easily. Like these breakout levels, this is where some traders, if you wanted to, like I'm a very short-term trader, so I would trade breakouts like this. So if you wanted to, you could literally just trade the breakout, buy, take a 2x, in the space of hours, sell, move on to the next coin. That's like full-on day trading. And you can absolutely do that right now because the market is allowing for it. Like 33 million in volume in 24 hours for the meme coin, given how the market's been recently, that is very, very high. So again, I do everything based on numbers, based on stats. The stats are telling me memes are running, especially quality. There's a rush for quality. This is not my words or my opinion or, how I feel things are going. This is actual statistics. Look at the volume. The volume is 33 million. End of story. 33 million traded. So literally 16 million of this coin was bought today. That is a lot. And what happens now, I think, much like classic altcoin seasons, is with these major meme coins, let's say they keep moving, you'll get a spill-off of some of the profits into the secondary meme coins. Maybe. Like this is a maybe. I don't even know if this is going to happen. How am I going to know if this is going to happen? Going to look at the stats again. Like if I see secondary meme coins, like slightly less well-known meme coins in the same niche, if I see them moving, I'm like, oh, okay, something's going on here. But if they're not moving and they're just kind of going sideways and nobody really cares and the volume's not going up, then this theory doesn't exist. It's literally better to just concentrate on the 3 to 5 and just hold them for whatever stage we are in, whatever the health cycle we're in right now. doesn't matter. Don't overthink it. Don't try and predict when cycles begin and end and stuff like that. Nobody's that good. Nobody knows what's going on with the world, with liquidity. Don't be that guy. Don't do that. Just have a look at breakouts, look volumes coming in, look for setups, take profits, move on. I'm just going to touch on Fcoin very briefly because obviously it's been one of the strongest ones off the lows, and it was one of the strongest ones anyway at those January highs we saw on several AI meme coins. Now with Fcoin, I've already drawn a squiggly line there, but I think the structure is looking very bullish, and I think there's a good chance if this does run, it could nick 5 billion and fall off at some point whenever it does do that. I think it's looking less and less likely that this is just a retrace up and then it's going to fail again and die off again. But remember, most meme coins will fail and die off. I just think this is looking a lot more bullish. That's, again, this is more opinion based on a little bit of TA, based on how bullish the setup is looking. We've seen a lot of overlap. We've not really seen God candles yet, actually, on this move up. Like these, we've not really seen that vertical rise yet. And because there's so much overlap, it means that move could be very strong and very fast. That's why I'm thinking it could stretch all the way up to 5 like WIF did. Again, I'm using other meme coins as examples. So that's it for this video. But just remember, anytime you come across any coin and you have a look at it and you're like, that sounds interesting, I want to analyze it more, click on the watch list button here and add it to one of your watch lists. I've got loads and loads of lists that I've had over the past couple of years, and I keep creating new ones as well, obviously, because what's trending keeps changing. Thanks for listening.